Side Decorating Center. Good morning to you. Welcome to the second hour of the Art Lewis Show. It is an open phone hour. Whatever you'd like to chat about. Haven't done it in a while since I've been back, but here is the opportunity. 989-752-6111, the number to call, and we'll get the conversation started on this Tuesday morning. I had an experience over the weekend of having to buy a new laptop computer. You talk about computer overload. Going into the store and looking at probably 100 different laptops and scratching your head, oh, this one's better than this one, this one's better than this one. Or you go to YouTube and you look at the best ofs, and one guy says these 5 are the best, the other guy says, nah, these 5 are the best. You talk about putting yourself out there and taking your best shot and hoping you'd made the right decision. I hope I did that. Number of things is going on that are worth discussing. Some are political, some aren't. But a couple of them I wanted to bring up this morning. First of all, you've heard the promo we're running, and you'll hear it again here pretty quick, about the possibility of getting a check of $2,000 called a tariff dividend. I have one thing to say, and I'll leave it there. And I heard Joe Pag say this the other night. I was shouting at the radio before he said it, and then he said it. Don't send me a $2,000 check. Take that estimated $600 billion and reduce the deficit and the debt. I mean, it just makes sense. The debt is growing and growing and growing, which costs us more and more and more. Don't send us the money. Send the money to the debt. Pay it down a little bit. Start someplace. We got to start someplace. So I just thought I'd throw that out there. All right, to the phones we go, and Scott is in Saginaw. Scott, good morning to you.
Morning. As far as the money goes, yeah, I would like it, but it would probably be far better to go to the debt. So I think that's more of a national security issue than me buying a new TV.
Okay, that's good. Although buying a new TV spurts the economy on, so.
Well, but to me though, yes, it would. But we also seen what happened when they sent those checks out during the pandemic.
Oh, absolutely, and that's another good point.
And so I would rather see either the money come back and have to be spent specifically on health care or put it to our debt or something like that, but not just for a free-for-all. It shouldn't go for that.
There's an interesting idea I hadn't even thought of. Healthcare account. That's an interesting idea. I'd still rather see it go to the debt.
That would probably do better.
Yeah.
That'd probably do better. But all right, the reason I wanted to call is the direction of the Democratic Party seems to really have taken a real sharp turn. Jay Jones, if some of the people haven't heard of him, he's the new Attorney General for Virginia, the man who said he wanted to watch his opponent's wife die and watch her and have her watch her children die in her arms.
And then he gets elected.
This Democrat, what's that?
And then he gets elected.
Yeah, well, not only did he get elected, he got elected in overwhelming support.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
That's a very telling thing.
Well, so did Mamdani in New York. I mean, it was overwhelming.
That's where I was going. And this man, he's even worse than what Jones said, because this man's calling for, I'm going to probably say the word wrong, but that killing of all the Jews around the world is what he's into, and he's okay with that. And he got voted in with overwhelming support. We have I think it's very clear that the Democrats are turning to violence to move. They're no longer talking to us, just like Turning Point over at Berkeley. These people went there to go pray and talk about Jesus, and factions of the left went there to beat and assault and intimidate.
Now, let me
This
give
is
you
who they have become.
let me give you my thought on what might happen here. First of all, it is obvious that the voting so far this year for the Democratic Party has moved to the far left. Social Democrats and socialism seem to be the wave of the Democratic Party right now. I hope I'm right, that there are enough moderate Democrats that will rise up against it. And they will either not vote or they will push the party back to center, or they'll even switch over and vote for moderate Republicans. I don't know when that's going to happen, but it will eventually happen. They will get fed up. They will see the error of the way, so to speak.
That would be nice if it would happen like that. But I think it's a little bit more nefarious than that, to where a lot of these people on the left now have really got caught up in that hatred for Donald Trump. And these people would rather see a pedophile, a murderer, or anybody else running the country but Donald Trump and people like him.
No doubt about that. They don't like Trump. There's no doubt about that. None whatsoever.
That's the scary thing.
Yeah.
And that's the scary thing, because that's what we've seen in these elections. These elections, to me, don't mean a whole lot because they were heavily dominated Democrat areas.
They are, but that's why they mean a lot, because they're in heavily Democratic areas, which means the Democrats in those areas have accepted that notion. New York City is not a socialist city, but yet they've just elected by a huge margin, a guy who calls himself a socialist Democrat, socialist, whatever they call themselves. The fact is, it's a movement towards socialism. And that's a huge voting block. I mean, and Seattle just did the same thing. Big metropolitan areas where there are huge Democrat voters. You can't ignore it.
What I mean by that is, I wasn't really expecting a Republican to win, but I sure wasn't expecting crazy people to win either, who are calling for the death of their opponents.
Well, I understand that, but that's why I'm saying, that's exactly why I'm saying, Scott, those elections meant something. It should be a warning.
As far as that, I mean, if what I'm saying is, if they would have just been moderate Democrats and Republicans would have lost, to me it wouldn't have been a big deal. But being that two of these people were calling for the death of people and got elected and overwhelming, that to me is very alarming. Yeah. This is what we're up against.
Yep.
People who want you dead if you don't agree with them. And that sickness is flowing. You got churches now preaching against all this stuff, saying Donald Trump doesn't serve God. These people need to watch what they're saying. Donald Trump protects life by his actions that he's doing.
All right.
That's more than a lot of these other people are doing.
Good enough.
Again, I don't want to get in a religious thing, but we have a violent group of people on our hands, and we need to realize that they're getting more and more violent.
All right. Good enough. Thanks, Scott.
Yep.
Take care. Bye-bye now. All right, 1020, lines open, 989-752-6111. That is the number.
My name is Angie Guja. I've been
I went to wind or solar. Oh, that was a bad idea. Wind and solar should stand on its own. It shouldn't get any subsidies or anything like that.
I didn't say I supported it.
You remember hearing those arguments?
Yeah, but I didn't say I supported any of that.
Okay, well, it's just that's what we heard. I've heard for years is, no, these sources need to stand on their own, not be subsidized by the government. Well, so I still have a problem.
Of course, here's the reality. Whether we like it or not, here's the reality. Without subsidies, it still costs the same to produce and install them and operate them. So somebody's got to pay for it. Now, who do you think that is?
Us, the ratepayers.
Exactly. No matter how you do it, either the subsidy, which comes from your tax dollars, or your bill, which comes directly from your pocket, there's no other source. You're it.
Right. So let's just be consistent as far as gas and oil and solar and nuclear. Are we going to subsidize it or not? Are we going to pick winners and losers?
Yeah, no, that's a fair question. That's a fair question, but I just want you to understand, no matter what the answer is, it doesn't matter because it comes out of the same pocket.
Yes,
No matter
that's true.
how you do it, it comes out of the same pocket.
Okay. President Trump has been talking the last few days about how prices are coming down in the grocery store and things are getting better, and we should all be thanking him for what a great job he's doing on bringing down prices. You do your own grocery shopping, don't you?
Yep.
You go to the store. Have you seen grocery prices coming down?
On some things, and on other things, no. Other things have gone up.
On most, what would you say on most things, up or down?
Well, I don't shop most things anymore. I don't buy that many groceries, so it'd be wrong for me to say anything because I don't know. I just know the things
Okay,
that I buy have fluctuated, some down, some up.
Yeah, well, I see a lot of things going up, and I don't know. It seems like out of touch of President Trump to be talking this way. Saying how great the economy is, and everybody should be thanking him for what a great job he's doing. It's just another example of him being, I think, out of touch. He's having these.
Or is it another example of? Or is it another example?
A ballroom.
Or is it another example of political speech, which every politician seems to do?
Well, I mean, you were just getting very upset with Scott about, the Democratic Party. If they say something about democratic socialists, oh my God, everybody loses their mind.
I wasn't
How can
upset
you say
about
that?
it. I was offering my opinion. I wasn't being upset about it. You didn't hear me
Okay,
shout
well,
and scream
Scott's
about it.
really
I just
upset.
gave you my opinion on it. He had indicated that that he didn't understand the big pot of Democrats voting that way, and I reminded him. I said, New York is not a skinny pot of Democrats; it's a huge pot of Democrats, and they all voted 60-some-odd% for this guy. Well, fine, but now
Yes,
let me
in
ask
New
you.
York-
Let me ask you. You consider yourself to be a moderate Democrat or a far left Democrat?
I actually consider myself to be an independent, but okay.
All right, well, you're an independent like I am. You're an independent leaning to
Leans,
the left,
leans left.
and I'm an independent who
Leans
leans
left.
right. So that puts you in the moderate category.
Sure.
You want to see this country
Okay.
turn to socialism?
Well,
In the way that they're suggesting it. Free this, free that, which means you and I pay for it.
No, but look at some of Trump's rhetoric.
Yeah, wait a minute. I'm talking about your party and your people, not Trump. The Republicans will have to deal
Okay.
with Trump.
What about?
Let me ask you this:
What about the-
how long
What
before
about
you
the
would?
governor? What about the
All right, I
governor
can't
of
talk over you.
Virginia? What about the governor of Virginia and the governor of New Jersey, who are moderates, and they both won handily in this election?
That's fine.
They
People
aren't
are-
socialists.
I'm sorry. They're what?
They aren't socialists.
Well, that just means that the Democrats in New Jersey are not as far left as the Democrats in New York, doesn't it?
Yeah, exactly.
So what?
People are different in people's
So
places.
am I
in different
asking
places.
you if you were faced in an election where you had to choose and the only candidate on your side was a socialist, what would you do?
I would have chosen Mondami over Cuomo if that was my choice.
That was their choice.
Or I would choose
That was
I
their
would choose
choice.
Mondami over Trump if that was my choice.
Well, that's because you dislike a Trump, but that's beside the point. I'm talking Democrat to Democrat.
Well,
So if
the
you had a choice,
they had
if you
there-
had a choice of the New Jersey governor or Mondami, who would you vote for?
the New Jersey governor.
All right, there you go. And I think, this is my opinion, I think that eventually Democrats are going to, rebel is a strong word, but I think Democrats are going to take back control to the moderate side of the party in the same way that I think Republicans will do the same thing. If things get out
I
of
would like to
hand,
see
we
that.
react. if things get out of hand,
I would like to see that.
history has told us
I would
that's
like
what.
to see.
History has
both
told us
parties.
that history has told us that that's what happens.
I'd like to see both parties come back toward the middle.
Yes, I would, and I'd like to see them sit down and talk
I'd
about
like to
things.
be Art. I'd like to be able to vote for a Republican who I thought was responsible and sound-minded.
And you know what?
I would like to do that.
And you know what? I would vote for a Democrat for the same reason, and I have. I always have.
Good.
I always have.
Good.
My ballot is never unified. Never. So, all right,
Well,
gotta
Art,
run.
But Saginaw County Sheriff
Gotta
doesn't
run.
count. Okay.
Yes, he does. He's in another party. All right.
Yeah, that doesn't really count.
Well,
We
everything.
can talk about
Listen,
it.
when I vote on everything, votes. Everything counts when I vote. All right,
Yeah,
Carl.
in a
Gotta run. I
national
gotta run,
election,
Carl.
when's the
Gotta
last
run,
time you
Carl.
voted
Bye,
Democrat?
Carl. Gotta run. That means a goodbye.
Okay.
Talk to you later. Jim is in Wheeler. Jim, good morning.
Yeah, Art. I'm going to go back to this wind and solar.
Yeah.
And, I live in Gratiot County, and we are the poster child for solar and wind. And if you take a look, you drive out this way and you take a look and see how big a footprint the wind turbines take versus the footprint that a solar farm takes. There's a solar farm in north of the Bethany Township Hall, and it probably is going to cover close to 600 acres of farmland.
Yeah.
There's
an
another one
example.
out west of Elma.
There's an example here in Saginaw County at the next tier plant. It's powered by solar now. And as you travel on the highway next to it, and you see that huge footprint, that's just for that plant.
Is it in the complex?
Yeah, I mean, it's in the complex, and it's just for
Well,
that
as
plant.
long as it's in the complex, it doesn't matter.
No, but I'm not. That's not what I'm
industrial.
saying. I'm saying, look at the size of that just for that one facility. How
Yes.
big does it have to be to supply the state? I mean, we're talking
Yes.
about huge
It's
infrastructure.
ridiculous. See, and the thing about it that bothers me, Art, is the electricity that's generated up here in Gratiot County goes into a great big grid. and
Well,
it
that's
heads
true
south or
everywhere.
West.
That's true everywhere.
And then why don't they? Detroit's a vast wasteland down there. From when I went down there with my son was doing construction, and if there wasn't for curbs and roads down there, you could farm vast tracts of land down there in Detroit. That's where they've taken the houses out. Put their stuff down there. If they want, I mean, it's right there where they use it.
Bottom line, eventually
and-
they're going to have to put it everywhere. That's
And
the
put
bottom line.
it on top. Put it on top of the industrial buildings and
you wouldn't have
the
enough
city buildings.
Yeah. Well, that'd be
Well,
all right to
they do,
generate.
though.
That would generate energy for those plants, but it wouldn't do much else.
Well,
So,
there you go. But it's done.
Yeah, but it's
and
done.
you're not
All right.
destroying farmland.
all right,
Give me one more second.
go ahead.
I want to just educate some of these people.
Well, from
There was
your-
a guy approached me about my farm,
Yep.
40 acres of it. He offered me $38,000 for 30 years. It's hard to turn down. I'm not a wealthy man, but like I said, if I lease my land out for that solar farm, every day I'm going to have to duck bullets because my neighbors are going to shoot at me, and my kids certainly are going to shoot at me.
Yeah. Well,
So
you made a choice.
You don't destroy.
All right.
You don't destroy prime farmland.
Got it.
Art.
I
Yeah,
gotta-
have a good one.
You too. Thanks, Jim. Bye-bye.
Yeah, bye now. Yeah.
Tim, hang on. Sean, hang on. We'll get to you guys next.
Get ready to gobble up the winnings.
All right, we're back with you here on the Art Lewis Show. Back to the phones. Tim is in Midland. Tim, good morning to you.
Good morning, Art. How we doing?
We're doing well, thanks.
Good. Hey, I just want to go off what the last gentleman caller was talking about, the solar
Yeah.
and the wind.
Yeah.
I've worked in this industry for some time, And the bottom line on this one is my point is the juice isn't worth the squeeze. You can't get enough solar here in Michigan or wind to make it worth it. So why do they do it? Basically subsidies. It's the only reason they do it.
Yeah,
so
and
it isn't worth it.
And I go back to what I said earlier. Subsidies mean we're still paying for it. One way or another.
Exactly. So one way or another, we're paying for it. But, I mean, natural gas doesn't get any subsidies. So,
right.
So it doesn't work. You can look at the MISO grid. The gentleman was saying we're on a grid here. It's called the MISO grid. You can go, see what we're doing. See how much energy is coming from wind and solar. About 13% comes from wind and solar. It's not much. So we just don't have it here in Michigan. We don't have enough sunlight for this, okay? It just doesn't work.
That's always been the case.
Yeah, I used to live in Southern California, down by Palm Springs. They use solar panels and wind farms out there in the desert. It's probably a good area for it. It might work.
Sure, absolutely.
But what you get is a lot of people just virtue signaling for this. You can't. The noise in reality is you can't really see what's the truth is when people start virtue signaling about this. And if they get on these bully platforms and just start screaming, you're killing the world if you have natural gas or nuclear. So
yeah.
It's just not true. Yeah. So that's one point. The other point was, the previous gentleman before Carl, I can't remember his name. He was, the left Democrats are saying to kill people. I mean, Trump puts a lot of rhetoric out there too. I mean, he's calling anybody that voted the Republicans before, if you vote to release the Epstein files, you're a traitor to the country. What?
Now he's saying do it though. Now he's saying yeah.
Because he couldn't bully them. He couldn't bully the Republicans in doing it, and he figured that out. It's like, okay, to save face, I'm going to have to go along with him. But I mean, call him a traitor to the country because you want to release these files. Give me a break.
Yeah.
My point is, it's either side.
It's rhetoric.
Okay? It's rhetoric from either side. You get it from both sides.
Right.
It's like, I hate the hypocrisy.
I've said that many times. I've said that many times.
Stop it. I mean, do I like Trump? No, I can't stand him. But I'm very conservative. You asked Carl if he'd vote, socialism, and he kind of hesitated there. He's like, absolutely not. Don't I?
Yeah.
100% no. I would never vote socialism. 100% no. However, we are turning into a country that is a fascist country. We're starting to go that way, and I don't know.
Well, I'll tell you what'll happen.
Really do about that.
Well, here's what's going to happen, in my opinion. History shows us when the people of the country get fed up, they make change. And I think what'll happen, if this happens more and more, where you have the Mondamis of the world elected, and then you get to the national elections, it's going to drive people to the Republican Party. You watch. At some point in time, it will.
Yeah, unless, you turn into a fascist-type system where it's just the elites control everything.
Yeah. All right.
So and I don't think there's anything you can really do about that.
Yeah.
I don't have a solution. So, anyways.
All right, Tim. Thanks. Have a good one. Bye-bye now.
You too. Bye.
And before we take a break, let's talk to Sean in Bay City. Sean, good morning.
Good morning, Art.
Morning.
2 points for you today. One will do with the energy. You can look at the study. If you wanted to make the United States run on solar, the whole United States, you'd have to cover every square inch of land from the Mississippi all the way to the ocean. So that's dumb.
Yeah.
It's just dumb. It's a grift. It's a lie. It's stealing. It always has been. Use your brains, people. Number two, just some SNAP benefit info here for you. Did you know that these people that are on SNAP, you can go on to Amazon, get 50% off Amazon Prime. You can look at all the different food to buy. You can buy Chilean sea bass. You can buy caviar. You can buy the best prime rib there is, all that good stuff. Now, I've been on food stamps before, way back when I was in my early 20s. I'm 53 now, and it was certain things that you could get, and that's all you could get.
Yep. Yeah.
See, so anybody that makes they can't get it if they live out in the country. Amazon delivers anywhere, and they get the bigger discount. Now, here's another one: 40% of your average American worker, right? 40% of them are obese. Now, the SNAP people, they're 57%. So you weigh less giving them money. So you're paying for them to get fatter.
Yeah.
Literally. No, it's not funny, Art.
I understand what you're saying, but the country's obese, period.
Right. They're morbidly obese. So you can get caviar, you can get all this stuff. $7 billion a snap on sugary drinks.
Yeah.
Yeah, make them kids even fatter. And all these lefties out there, these lefty schmucks.
Hey, watch it.
Schmuck is a bad word?
Well, yeah, technically, if you know what it means, but that's all right. Go ahead.
Oh, well, your definition may be different. All these lefty ding-dongs out there, right? They think that's caring. That's not caring. You know what caring is? Making people go to work and take care of themselves.
Amen,
and doing the right things. That's what caring is.
All right.
Caring is letting, and I'm sick of the Carl hour. Every time I listen, Carl gets like an hour and a half. I mean,
No, he doesn't. No, he doesn't. There are many more of you than there are of Carl. And Carl probably thinks the same of you.
Carl, you got TDS, and Carl, when you try and make arguments, the fact that you can't even look at common sense things, Carl, and go, yeah, that's common sense. Anybody would, would see that. It diminishes your point, Carl.
Okay.
So try being a reasonable, non-TDS, social, socialist. Yeah, it's just
good enough,
fact.
Sean. Thanks.
Take
Take
care.
care.
All right,
Bye-bye.
buddy.
Talk to you. Bye-bye. Let's go back to our phones. Jeff is in Bay City. Jeff, good morning to you.
Why, good morning, Art. Very colorful crew we have today across the radio waves. So the downfall with solar, and nobody wants to ever talk about it, yes, it does not pay for itself. They subsidize it. Like the one guy called in and they offered him this ridiculous amount of money for his farmland to put solar on. Once you go solar, it cannot be farmland ever again. So how about the fact of stealing farmland to say that you're going to put the solar in? And they talk about the rainwater that runs off can be some type of toxic or something.
Yeah, well, let me just say one thing.
Glass, if it gets broke.
Let me just say one thing. You're not stealing the farmland. They're paying for it.
They're renting it.
Well, they're renting it. Whatever, but it's not stealing it.
Right. Well, they're stealing it from the fact of it being farmland ever again.
Well, the farmers made the choice.
What you're saying they're right. They're making it, but then it's a temporary loan or a lease, but it can't go back because if it gets broken, glass gets in the ground, gets into the food. This is what they claim that they're all worried about. So you are stealing the farmland. You're just covering it up on how they're getting it, and then all of a sudden we're less and less on farmland. So there's always that aspect of it, And with people out here in our society, you got signs at national parks, don't feed the animals, they'll forget how to hunt. And that's the society we're building right now. They keep giving free, subsidize this, give the handouts. We got to keep the SNAP program going. We got to do this. But what we're failing as a society is teaching people how to work and take care of themselves.
Yeah, well, I agree with that. The handouts are not a good thing.
All this,
that's why I'm against those $2,000 tariff checks. Use it to reduce the debt.
Right, pay the debt down.
Yeah,
get us out of debt. Do the responsible thing.
Well, it won't get us out of debt. It'll be a very small percentage actually. It's $600 billion against $38 trillion.
Right, but
it's a start.
But it's a step in the right direction.
Right,
it's a payment.
Absolutely.
If you could do that every year, it would be. You know what I'm saying? That would be great. They talk about having public grocery stores. I think, in my personal opinion, and I'm not afraid to say, hey, Carl or whoever's listening, capitalism. That's what I'm for. I have no problem.
That's the way we've lived forever. We've done pretty well with it.
But,
so,
if we went to a government-ran grocery store, though, so instead of handing people SNAP money, you show up with your ID, you're on the list, you can buy this much stuff, and, I'm sorry, we're not going to fill the shelves full of prime rib and steaks. Caviar and stuff like that,
Good enough, Jeff.
But the military has their own grocery stores, and they run them successfully. And if you ever get onto a military base with somebody,
PX.
The foods are actually cheaper.
Yep.
So why can't we do that?
Well, because they buy it cheaper and they don't have to because they buy it cheaper and they don't have to make a profit. That's not capitalism.
Aren't we already giving the money to?
Yeah.
or instead of the SNAP program where some people are selling them and getting their hair done and getting nails, or they're selling it and buying drugs or whatever. So,
very good, Jeff. I appreciate it. Thanks.
Yeah, thanks.
Okay.
Have a good day.
Right. And we got Gene in Bay City. Gene, go ahead.